Every day, billions of people visit beaches around the world. Children play in the waves, ships cross the oceans, and countless animals live beneath the surface. But there is one strange thing about the ocean. Why is it salty? Rainwater isn't salty. Most lakes aren't salty. Many rivers aren't salty. So where does all the salt in the ocean come from? And if rivers constantly pour fresh water into the sea, why doesn't the ocean eventually become fresh too? The answer involves rain, rocks, rivers, and a process that has been happening for hundreds of millions of years. In the next few minutes, you're about to discover why Earth's oceans are salty. And by the end of this video, you'll probably say, "I didn't know that." The oceans contain an astonishing amount of salt. In fact, if all the salt dissolved in Earth's oceans were removed and spread across the land, it could cover entire continents. On average, every liter of seawater contains around 35 grams of salt. That's why drinking ocean water is a bad idea. The salt concentration is simply too high for the human body. But where did all that salt come from? The answer begins on land. Rain is quietly changing rocks. Rainwater may look pure, but it's actually slightly acidic. As rain falls onto mountains and rocks, it slowly breaks them down. This process is called weathering. Tiny amounts of minerals are released from the rocks. Many of these minerals contain sodium and chloride, the same elements that form common salt. The process is incredibly slow, but it never stops. Every time it rains, tiny amounts of minerals are removed from the land. Rivers are delivering salt to the ocean. Once these minerals are released, they are carried away by rivers. Every river on Earth acts like a giant transport system. Water flows downhill, collecting dissolved minerals. They deliver those minerals into seawater. This has been happening for millions of years. Why doesn't the salt disappear? Because the water leaves, but the salt stays. The sun heats the ocean. Water evaporates into the atmosphere. Clouds form. Rain falls again. But when seawater evaporates, the salt doesn't rise with it. This means the oceans are constantly losing water while keeping most of their dissolved minerals. Over enormous periods of time, the salt accumulates, which is why seawater became salty in the first place. Are all oceans equally salty? Surprisingly, no. Different parts of the ocean have different salt levels. Areas with intense evaporation often become saltier. Areas that receive large amounts of rain can become less salty. Places where huge rivers enter the ocean also tend to have lower salinity. One of the saltiest large bodies of water on Earth is the Red Sea. What about the Dead Sea? Many people have heard of the Dead Sea, and despite its name, it's actually a lake. The Dead Sea is famous because it contains an enormous amount of salt, much more than the ocean. The reason is simple. Water enters the lake, but very little leaves. As water evaporates, the salt remains behind, so high that people can easily float on the surface. Many ocean organisms depend on the chemistry of seawater. Fish, corals, and countless microscopic organisms evolved in salty environments. The next time you stand beside the ocean, remember that its salt wasn't created overnight. The ocean may seem simple at first glance, but hidden inside every wave is a story that began long before humans existed. And if you learned something new today, comment, "I didn't know that," and subscribe for more mysteries hidden inside our incredible planet.